Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike with A&M. Today, I got a couple of different estimates to look at, so I'm just gonna kind of go over the different prices and how I price things out. And I mean, it's a very dramatic jump. Like, one estimate's pressure washing and painting and maybe doing some carpentry outside of a garage. And the other one's like a guy who has overgrown grass, and he said that his renters can't mow it down because there's all kinds of stumps in it. So just kind of two different, totally different estimates to go on today. So I'm gonna kind of just walk through, point out things that you should look for and different prices and stuff that I'm gonna give these customers. And then maybe I'll have a phone call where I talk to them and see if they wanna go with any of those estimates. If not, I'll just let you guys know later if they agree to any of these prices. So that's what today's video is about. So stay tuned. We're gonna head on to this first one. All right, so I was gonna go to this first job and look at the estimate. It had like pressure washing the sidewalk house, painting some columns, doing some other repairs. I just looked it up and it's like a 45-minute drive. So that's a little bit farther than I want to go just for an estimate, because if I don't get the job, then I just wasted, you know, an hour and a half driving there and driving back and giving them all the prices and sending them an email and all that. So, and realistically, the type of job it is, I don't really feel like painting or pressure washing anymore. I kind of only have me and another guy working for me. Anything where I need to, you know, prep tools or anything like that, if it's not worth it, if it's not closer than 45 minutes, I guess, it's not really worth the drive and the hassle of doing all that. So this other job I think is about 25 minutes away, and it's just removing some stumps in the grass. So I'm gonna go do that one. We'll see if I get any other phone calls in the meantime of any other jobs. I had another guy who wants his skylight silicone, but I'm actually doing his gutters on Friday, so I'm not gonna make a special trip out there to look at that. I can just look at that when I'm out there on Friday. All right, now I'm gonna head on over to that other job and we'll see if, you know, that's something we can do and we can give them a price for that. All right, I just got to this first estimate, so let's go take a look and see what they all need done. All right, I'm about to walk through this property, but there's a few things I wanted to point out before I get started. The first thing is, this is actually a repeat customer, and he's down in Miami, Florida. I'm over in South Carolina. So he's not actually here. This is a rental property of his. He said nobody's home, but I think I'm gonna knock on the door anyways and just let them know I'm here. That's the first thing, because you never know if somebody's here. You don't want to just be walking through somebody's backyard, especially me with the video camera, and they'll be like, what are you doing? So yeah, that's the first thing, and then we're gonna go through and see exactly what he needs done. All right, nobody answered, so now I'm gonna just show you guys what I'm seeing over here. So he said that they cannot mow the grass because there's too many stumps. So we're gonna just look through here, see if we see any stumps. It's just very uneven. I mean, that's a whole nother story, but he said there's rats and stuff everywhere. There's some pieces of concrete, so you don't want to hit that. As far as stumps go, I'm not really seeing anything yet. That's another hard thing, is when nobody's here, you don't know what you're looking for. So right now it's like a treasure hunt. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly they're even talking about. Over here, I don't see anything. I mean, yeah, it would be kind of hard to mow. You might have to just weed whack. Like I said, as far as the stumps go, and they could be little nubs if somebody cut down trees in the path. It does look 100 times better than it did last time I was here, though. Last time we did some internal work. We took away a bunch of stuff that was on the inside. He's got branches and stuff in the yard. Definitely needs to be picked up. But yeah, as far as those stumps go, I mean, if these are what they're considering stump, you know, I see 2 stumps then, if that's the case. But I might just offer him just like yard cleanup. I'll just bring my mower through here. If I hit anything, I'll know where the stumps are. But yeah, realistically, I'm not seeing too many stumps, but you don't want to underquote this either. You can see all this poison ivy too. So now I got that all over my pant leg. And trust me, I'm really allergic to poison ivy, so I wasn't even paying attention because I was just videotaping. But that sucks. Even if I don't get this job, which I probably will, but I'll definitely get poison ivy. And back here, same thing. I mean, I don't know. There's no stumps. I mean, if you look at that, don't want to step through there. That's poison ivy. So maybe over here, here's a few stumps over here. So I'd have to dig all those out. And then I don't know about along the fence line. I would say the majority of this job is just this back area over here, and then on the other side of the house, which I already kind of showed you. So I mean, if he's got an average push mower, this is going to be a pain in the ass. And that's probably what he has. This renter probably has an agreement where he's got to cut this grass, but this is so uneven, and it's a big yard, so I know he ain't doing it that often. It's pretty much springtime right now, so he probably didn't even cut this all year. But I'm just gonna give an estimate for the cutting, initial cutting. I'm gonna get back in my car and give kind of a breakdown of how I would estimate this, and then we'll go from there, and we'll call the customer and see if he likes it. I'm already itching from this poison ivy, so that sucked. But yeah, so I'm gonna get in the car and do that, and we'll go over everything else. Okay, so when you're estimating, first thing you want to think about is like the drive time. So it's like 25 minutes. If it was longer, I might charge, you know, extra 25 to 30 bucks just for the drive time. He's a repeat customer, so I'm not gonna do that. But that's the first thing I would recommend, is charge for your drive time. Whether they know it or not, it's still your time, and your time is valuable. When you're first starting off, you might want to go anywhere and do any kind of job for any price, and that's fine. I've done that too, but now I'm in like my 6th year of business. I only do specific jobs that I want to do. And like that first job that I canceled, they actually sent me pictures of everything they had, so I kind of had an idea of what I was getting myself into. That's another thing that'll save you lots of time. Always request pictures, because their descriptions, sometimes the customer's descriptions do not match what the job is at all, and sometimes their pictures are so blurry, it's like, I guess they just can't take a picture either. But it's better than nothing. At least you're like, okay, that's something I don't want to touch at all, or that looks like I can do that, and now I'll go take the time to actually see it in person. So that's the second thing to remember. Now, the third thing is, like, this guy, he's not even here. I don't really know exactly what he wants, because he's just telling me what the renter told him. And when I looked out in the yard, you guys saw there wasn't really any stumps. I think this guy just doesn't want to mow his grass. I mean, that's just speculation. So what I need to do now is tell this guy, like, I didn't see any stump, but I noticed that the whole property needs to be weed whacked and cleaned up, and we can offer you that service. For me personally, I know I charge like $60 to remove a stump usually, and that's to like pull it out with my truck. These ones are little, and I could probably get them with a pickaxe, but I'm also probably gonna have to bring a Sawzall. So those are tools included, so your price needs to go up a little bit more than per hour. So usually, if I'm just doing anything pretty simple, I would charge like $60 per man per hour. And then since I'm using tools and stuff, I would charge anywhere from like $75 to $100 an hour to like use a pickaxe or power tools like that. Really, realistically, I can just break that down. I could be like, every stump I see, I'm just gonna charge $25 per stump. So I only seen like 2 stumps, but you can tell the yard's enormous. So I would assume there's probably anywhere from 10 to 15 stumps. Especially when I start cutting down stuff, I might see there might be 100 stumps in here. So what I'm gonna do is charge a minimum of like 10 stumps. So that's gonna be my first number. So I would say, assume there's 10 stumps at $25 a stump, that's gonna be $250. And then I wanna figure out my hourly rate. So I'm not even gonna include that in my hourly rate. And I'm gonna figure for 2 guys, it would probably take them 4 hours. And that's just a rule of thumb, because if you want to say, oh, it's only going to take 2 hours, that'd be $240. Well, so $60 per man per hour. And this is just average labor. So it's $1 a minute, super easy to break down, super easy formula. So for 2 guys for an hour is $120. So 2 guys for 4 hours at $120 per hour is going to be $480. So that's going to be my next price. All right, so now I would say, oh, what about drive time, all that? We're not going to do anything like that for this one. The next thing you want to do is disposal. Am I going to have to take anything away from this job? And I'm going to have to take the stumps probably. I think I can cut up most that those irises and stuff, and I could even dig those up and sell them. I might do that. That's just an extra possibility. The last thing I want to do is disposal. So for like what I'm in right now is an 8-foot pickup truck. I would charge about 100 to 150 bucks to fill that up. So with that being said, it's such a big yard. I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be a full pickup truck. So I'm gonna just put another 150 for disposal. So let's see how much total. So we got 250 for the stumps, 480 for the labor, and 150 for disposal. So 250 plus 150 is 400 plus 480. So total this job will be 880 bucks. So now I'm gonna call this guy and give him this price of 880, and I'm gonna record that phone call. So let's see if we get this job.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. At the tone, please record your message.
Hey, how's it going? This is Mike with A&M. I'm over here at I looked at everything, and if you want to call me back, I can get you a price on everything I looked at, and we can go over all that. So if you want to call me back, 803. Thank you. So he didn't answer. One thing I don't like doing is leaving the price on the answering machine. I'd rather talk to them and explain it to them. I don't want there to be any miscommunication. He might just hear the price and be like, oh, no way. But I can explain exactly everything we're gonna do, and the price doesn't seem overwhelming to him. So if he calls me back, I'll try to record, but I'm gonna start driving and we'll go from there, and I will let you know if we got that job. Mike with A&M. Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm sorry I missed your call. I didn't hear my phone. Sorry.
Yep, no problem. So I went over there. I didn't see too many stumps, but everything's really overgrown. So I would probably have to take my lawnmower through there and then see, you know, what I run into, and then dig those up as I go. So it's pretty much like an entire yard cleanup at that point.
Okay.
So basically to do all that, and then to take away, there's a bunch of trash and stuff too there. I was gonna take all that away and then take away all the clippings and all the stumps. We could get it all done for like $880.
Okay, how much to haul away those clippings and stuff? Because there's stuff there. You clean this yard up.
Yeah.
They dump more stuff out there. I want, you know, I don't want you to get in the middle of it, but I'm gonna tell them, hey, look, you're charging me to haul your stuff away, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty much, I mean, I think it's just trash that's blown into the yard, basically. You know what I mean? It's just like garbage and bags and stuff. I'm just not gonna mow it over because it's just gonna blow everywhere. So, I mean, that whole street is kind of like, I don't know, a dumping ground or something. So I don't know if I don't think they were probably, I just don't want you to think they were just throwing stuff out there. I think stuff just blew in there, but I was just saying I would have to pick that stuff up because I don't want to mow it over and chop it into a million pieces. And then, you know.
I wouldn't want to do it either with my mower. Get all this shit tangled up in the mower. No, I wouldn't want to do it either.
Right. I mean, I can, like those stumps and stuff, I could just throw them in the back of the property, and, you know, I could take off the disposal fee. Because there is, I mean, along your fence line and stuff in the back, I could just throw whatever stump roots I pull up back there.
Okay.
So if we did that, if I don't have to dispose of anything, then I think I charge $150 for that. So I'd have to do the math real quick. So like $730 then.
Okay.
And that's just because I have to, like I said, I have to mow it all down. And then it should be, after that, it should be ready for them to just mow. I mean, I did see some concrete bricks and stuff and like that in there, but you know, I don't know if the ground's kind of uneven and stuff, but they should be able to mow it. I don't understand why not. So
I think they're just complaining, you know, because they're not wanting to pay the rent, so they're just complaining.
Right.
I just want to do this. I'm like, hey, it's done. You know, this is one last time.
Right. Okay, well, if you want, we can get you on the schedule for next, like, Tuesday.
That'll work for me.
All right, sounds good. I will take some pictures when I'm done.
Okay. I sent you a check last time, I think. Do you have Venmo or take any of those other forms?
Do you got Cash App?
Yep, I got Cash App.
Yeah, we can do Cash App.
All right, that'll work.
All right, sounds good. I'll go over there on Tuesday, and we'll knock it out.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
So he agreed to do it for $730, and that's because I took off the disposal fee. But that's something to remember too, when you're doing the estimates. I mean, if you can ever have any leeway, then, you know, they definitely will appreciate that. Especially this guy, he's put a lot of money into this rental, and he just said that they're not even paying their rent. So I don't know what kind of deal he's got going on there, but we're gonna go over there and next week and knock that out for him. Another thing I didn't do when I was there was actually take pictures on my phone of the job, because when you're running estimates, like sometimes I run 10 to 15 estimates a week, And you know, some of these people don't get back to you for weeks at a time. So when they call and say, hey, you looked at my property, and you're like, I don't even remember you or your name or any of that stuff, at least you can have a picture on your phone. And I always have them text me their address too, because everything's digital in text. Like anything we talk about, all the pricing, there's no miscommunication like, oh, you only charged, said you were gonna charge me $500 and it's $1,000. You know, I actually had that happen before. When I was finished with the job, they were like, oh, we never agreed to pay you that much. And I said, yes, you did. And I didn't have a text message. So I just had to bite the bullet on that one. And I could have argued with them, but I was just like, whatever. So yeah, those are just a few little do's and don'ts. You know, you don't want to do a quote a job wrong or underbid a job, because that's going to really suck. And especially when it's a really crappy job and you're not going to make any money off of it. So like this, you know, I assumed he's going to have a lot of stumps, and I assume that he's going to have a lot of disposal. And that's just so I can, you know, lower the price and not feel bad about it. So yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.